Calling to order the meeting of the Bismarck-Burleigh Commission Committee scheduled to meet today, 4 p.m. in the Tom Baker Room in the City County Office Building. Please call the roll.
Administrator Tomanek?
Here.
Auditor Spinskowski?
Here.
Mayor Schmitz?
Here.
Commissioner Bakken?
Here. Moving on to the regular agenda. First item up, approval of minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Further discussion? Here none. Call the roll, please.
Auditor Spinskowski?
Yes.
Mayor Schmitz?
Yes.
Administrator Tomanek?
Yes.
Chair Bakken?
Yes. Next item up, 2026 budget discussion. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, this is my request because obviously we're heading into budget season, and just so we can make sure both municipalities are walking down the path as closely as we can. Especially this is the one area where we have big commonality, and so I guess public health is one of those items as to how that split goes, and then of course probably item C is related to B.
Right.
2 and 4.
B2, 4, and C are all tied together, so we'll get to those when we move on. But if you want to start with Bismarck-Burleigh Public Health, Renee, do you have anything to?
Well, so I guess where I was, the idea of my putting it on or requesting it is I think we're at a 25-75 split for this current year, and I think the hope would be that we start to shift some more of that towards county, since it's really a county obligation per se. But we need to know before, as we go into budget season, what that looks like, and I want to get out there in front of the county so the county can at least have discussions. And I think Commissioner Munson might be online as well if he has any, between you and him.
Commissioner Munson, are you online?
I am.
Okay. Well, I will add this to our next agenda. Mark, if you can add discussion of the public health split to our next agenda item. Commissioner Munson, do you have anything else to add?
If I could, I'd like you to hold that off until the first meeting in April, please.
Well, if it's August,
that's a little late.
we might be a little far into the budget process by then. I don't have
they
a
both
problem.
start with an A, so. But I won't be at the next meeting for Burleigh County Commission. So if we could do it for the first meeting in April, that would be awesome.
Okay, Mark, if you wanna...
My intention is to be very similar to what my proposal was last year. 100,000 people that live in Burleigh County are on our tax rolls, and in my opinion, Burleigh County should be picking up a larger portion of the cost of Bismarck-Burleigh Public Health. That's where I went down the road last year with it, and I'm going to do the same again.
Duly noted. Thank you.
And that's really my whole purpose, is I think we just need to make sure we start
the discussion, correct.
and I wasn't trying to make it be overly burdensome, but at the same time, if we wait till May to talk about it, we're already into budgeting, and that.
Especially August, if you're going by what I thought.
Well, August might get us all in trouble, Commissioner. So that's really where I was at with that. I think the rest of the items are kind of all interrelated. I mean, the Burleigh County Courthouse, I'm just assuming we can, the lease rates.
Yeah, I don't see anything changing, so.
Okay.
But I'll run that back to the county commission as well. Can you add that to the discussion then too?
Do you want to add the courthouse and the city county building, or?
Well, I want to get an update.
Yeah,
we want to get an
courthouse.
update on the courthouse. I think is the easier piece of all those.
So, and we can run through that next, just for a point of discussion, because I'd like to have an answer to the city prior to our next meeting here at this table. So, and I'm sure Dimitri would like that too. So, anything else on public health?
I think, I'm waiting on, we're waiting on where the county would, obviously, we'd like to see it move in the direction of more county than city, because it's more appropriate to spread that across the population base. But, if we can find out, somewhat where the county commission is at in April, I think we can work with that then.
Next item up then, city-county building, and I'll actually throw item 4, B2, B4, and C together with the Provident building update. So we've got bids on March 19th. So what we're probably looking at is a partial contract for 2026 on the leases for our space here.
Okay, so.
For the first floor and IT services?
Okay, so,
Because once we get, we'll have a better handle on the numbers and the timeline after March 19th. So we can bring that back to discussion on our next meeting in April here.
so just so we get kind of a parameter to start working on, because it affects a few things. Like 6 months, closer to 12 months.
Probably a 6 to 9 month is what we're looking at, but again, that's
I mean, I know,
open to discussion until March 19th.
yeah, contracts
So,
are-
when we get those back, so
But the timeline is, that's your target? I
that's
guess
our
we-
target, yeah.
Okay. Jason, what are your thoughts for,
I guess if it's closer to 9 months, I'd prefer
Then
we just
prefer
do
to
a
do a
full
year.
year.
Okay.
Yep, because with construction, we all know how that, things can be
Well,
out of our
and
hands and
who
there
does a
can be
9 month
delays.
lease? So if it's gonna be closer to the 9 months, then that would be my choice as well, is to make sure that you guys are accommodated with another year, so.
And I'm thinking about it from the perspective of the landlord, not just the revenue side of things, but if the county does vacate this building, then we've got 25% more of this property than we've had in the past. And so what's the highest and best use for the city of Bismarck, for the taxpayers? And we'd like to start considering what our options are there as well, so.
well, I think on the IT services contract, that's probably, in my mind, just as critical.
Right.
Because that's a staffing-related issue, potentially, anyway. So, okay, that gives us an idea. And again, I also want to make sure we got it public on the discussion, so we aren't coming to June trying to sort this out and then not, and having budgets already through the process, the first
Yeah.
cut, so.
And I can be in contact with you guys as soon as we hear back on the
Yeah,
19th.
and I knew you had
just so
the
you're-
the
yeah.
bid openings were coming up, so I thought this was good, at least we could get the conversation rolling.
Okay.
I don't have any other questions other than that.
Jason?
I guess I have one on the bid opening. You said March 19th.
Yes.
Are you anticipating a schedule from the contractor with that bid?
We're expecting one.
Okay.
It's not in stone that we're getting one. That's a little subject to the architect.
Okay.
Their input as well, so, and then depending on what those bids are, any changes that we may have to make for budgetary reasons, so.
Okay.
So that timeline will be a little flexible depending on what budgets and where those numbers come in.
Okay, understood. Again, my whole purpose is let's just get the conversation started, because we haven't had a chance to visit for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Any other questions, Jason?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Mark, did you have anything to add?
No?
Thank you, Mr. Auditor Treasurer. Seeing as how you're on the phone, still I'm assuming, Mr. Munson, did you have anything to add, Commissioner?
No, I'm kind of excited to see the bids in March when they're coming out, and hopefully we can get started. But until, like you have said, Mr. Vice Chair, until we actually have a contractor selected and are able to make those conversations with the architect and that contractor, we're not going to have any idea probably until mid-April what our timeline is going to be. So if we put it on the next agenda for this meeting, that's probably the right thing to do.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner. Anything else?
I don't have anything else unless you have anything.
No other business.
Okay. Rather short, but we had to get the process started.
Yeah, always talking about budgets. I was a big proponent myself of getting budgets going sooner than later, because it gives us more time for staff to be fiduciary. So,
Okay.
all right, with that, this meeting is adjourned.
All right, thanks.